Welcome back to The Curious Yapper. I'm Madison, your host and favorite yapper, and we are at it with 45 episodes. That's pretty wild for just a little old me talking to a camera, talking to the wall, all by myself. So I'll give you the recap of the past 2 weeks. I think there's a correlation of me posting episodes with my mental health. Sometimes I become a little hermit crab when I don't feel like life is going well. So I'm in the middle of one of those and still going for it. Evan has been kind to make sure that I don't feel like all of this is a checkbox all the time or forcing myself into it. We're in the middle of that right now, so we'll see. We'll see how long the Curious Yapper lasts because we're in it right now. Anywho's, 2 weeks ago, my colleague was here from the Texas office, so that was really fun to see her. It was a busy week with the launch of one of our systems, so she was here to help support me, so I really appreciated that and good to see her. The next day, she came over after work and we diamond dotted and had dinner together. So naturally, I'm going to show you how hyper fixated I've been on the diamond dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going. 8, 9, 10. There's 18. So that was really fun to diamond dot. It was her first time to diamond dot and I really enjoy it because it's a little bit mindless, because it's kind of like paint by numbers with jewels. So underneath all of these, it tells you a number, you get the corresponding gem, and then you put it on and you're all good to go. So I really enjoy it. It's mindless. I can do it while we're watching TV. I can watch my reality shows that don't really matter and the drama's happening in the background and I'm just having a good old time. So the diamond dotting has been fun and definitely a hyperfixation of now. The next day she was here, we went on a pizza adventure and then an ice cream adventure. It was really fun to try the new flavors together. They do monthly series and this month was chocolate lovers because of Valentine's Day. So it's just really fun to go do that with her and spend some quality time. Then her last evening that we spent together, we went to a food truck with one of our other colleagues and got to hang out and chat. So it was really good. When I got home, it had been a very long week and that day was actually Evan and I's date anniversary. We've dated or been together for 12 years. Crazy. I guess we are about 6 years off from half of our lives of knowing each other, so that is also wild to comprehend. But when I got home, he had flowers and some chocolate goodies, so that was really enjoyable and a surprise and a pick-me-up after a long and kind of grueling week. The next day was the 13th of February. Lots of people do Galentine's. I got to celebrate with Evan doing relaxing things. We had Taco Bell. I believe we watched The Pit some and caught up on season 1. So it was just very us. I needed relax before I headed out. The next day, headed to Texas, and my flight was really early. I think I left at 5 a.m. here, so I was up by 3 a.m. and it was a long day. My flight was only supposed to be about 4 hours to get to DFW, and then we were getting close and they said that there was thunderstorms and they couldn't land at DFW. No traffic was leaving or coming in at DFW, so we were stalling in a hold. I've never been in that situation before, but we were in a hold, which hilariously, I thought we were pretty stationary. I knew I could see us moving. Apparently a hold means you're kind of going in circles. I was thinking to myself, how are we in the air because we're not a helicopter? So, you know, sometimes the brain doesn't brain, and I had not been in a hole before, but apparently it circles. Anyways, we ended up landing in Oklahoma instead. Plot twist. And then we had to wait it out before we could take off again. We had to wait for fuel. It was a whole thing, you guys. And I am a notorious overpacker of clothes and snacks. And I'm so glad I was, because they came the one time with your little cookies. After that, you're on your own. There was not snacks or food after that. And we were on the plane. I was on a plane for over 8 hours trying to make it to Texas for my niece's birthday. So that was exhausting. I was supposed to be about 4 hours early to her party. Ended up being late to her party. My mom picked me up from the airport. That was wild. Then we get there. I'm starving. My sister has some food going. So got to eat. And then it was time to help put up the balloon arch. It was a farm thing because my niece is into animals and the farm. She was dressed up in a really cute cow shirt and kind of like cowgirl vibes, and so that was fun. Got to help with the balloon decorations. And then the rest of the day is kind of a blur. I don't remember. The next day, it's also my mom's birthday in February. So we did a breakfast, little celebration for her, put a candle in some breakfast casserole. And then after that, went to my dad's, because after reading that historical fiction book, The Woman by Kristen Hanna, it was all about the Vietnam War that my work book club was reading. And I got to go to my dad's and ask him all kinds of questions about the Vietnam War because of things I read in the book. And so that was really cool. I finally got to do a timeline and wrote things down. I have a document now. So got to kind of iron out some of those stories and things I knew he had done but didn't have details or timelines. So that was really cool to do that. Got back to my sister's and we had some Taco Bell for dinner. Again, I'm a Taco Bell girl. I'm an easy girl. And just kind of zonked out after that. The next day was my niece's real birthday, so we headed to the zoo and she got to see lots of different animals. I think for the first time she got to see the giraffes. She fed them the lettuce. We saw the elephants. We went to the reptiles, all the things. So I'm sure it was a good day for her to spend at the zoo. We got some burgers after that. I love me some burgers. It was a delicious burger. Sweet potato fries, that's my thing. Then after that, went to my mom's to spend the evening because she was going to take me to the airport really early. That was after we all fell asleep watching Cars on the couch at my sister's, so that was funny. And then slept there, woke up the next morning, headed to the airport. All went as expected there. And I got home and it feels like a milestone that one of my friends from our new home actually picked me up from the airport. So I was proud of myself for being brave to ask if someone was available to pick me up because Evan had to be in the office and they said yes. And so that's pretty crazy and made me feel really good to have that and realize a year in I have made strides in community. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Also got to learn more about her on the way home from the airport. She's such an interesting person, and honestly, if I could have a retirement life similar to her or a life close to hers, I feel like it'd be very fulfilling. She does, I've probably talked about her before, she does puzzle competitions, she's in book clubs, she works at a library. She just has communities that she interacts with and people, and she volunteers, and I just think it's really neat. So that was fun to get to chat with her for a little bit, and she took me home. Then the next day I still had off from work. I had taken it, and I specifically wanted to go shopping, and I have another prop. I got a winter jacket. It is called an AmazePuff, but check it out. I got a jacket that fits me, and that's not black. Yay! It was fun. I have a purple jacket. So what's funny about that too is there are so many options in the store, And that's cool, but also really overwhelming. And I think I was just coming off like lots of feelings of overwhelm. So going shopping, feeling like I had a time crunch was interesting in itself. I ended up with a cool jacket though. And it was also funny because I was sending this same jacket in different colors to my friend that you guys met on the pod, Kylie girl, and Evan, and I had 3 options and they disagreed on the color. But both of them agreed on purple, even though purple wasn't their favorite, but they said purple because this kind of purple is my favorite color. So anyways, I got this jacket. I have a jacket that fits, that's not black, and it's a fun color. So yay, that was pretty exciting. Although overwhelming. Then I got to have lunch with Evan and there were so many sales and he had a coupon and I just kept saying, I think I just need to go get another jacket and all the things. I didn't do it, but I still have time to go do some impulsive shopping. So anyways, this is my AmazePuff. And let's see. Thursday, I was back at work. Friday, it was the weekend, and I'm caught up on The Traders. That was the perfect show to watch with my diamond dotting in the background. Love Traders. Unfortunately, I'm caught up now, and now I have to wait like everybody else to see what happens in the final episode. I believe this week. I really hope they don't try to withhold that for 2 weeks. That'd be so sad. I'm hoping that it's this week. This is a finale. And then I think they usually do their reunions. I love a reunion. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, I believe it comes out on Thursday. Then the weekend, I had hopes that Evan and I would go on an adventure. And I thought it was like an overnight stay, weekend adventure, go escape all of life. We were not on the same page. And I think I didn't ask enough questions. So then it turned into a day trip. And then it turned into nothing. And I was in a funk all weekend. Not only because of, not because of that. Just sometimes this brain up here is not nice, not kind. And she was not being nice. So, bummer. Yeah, all kinds of things happening in the brain. And I've always struggled with rest because I was always productive and saw my value in being productive. So not doing anything is really hard for me, even if I need it. So as my brain was being mean to me, I was like, well, let's do things that I know are good for me. Went on a walk on Saturday with Evan. That was good for me. Didn't always want to go. Yesterday's walk was pretty rainy, and then I was like overheating and in a funk and in a bad mood, so I was like kind of like a person. Yesterday's walk honestly felt like having a meltdown and just like not having a good time, but I knew that wasn't going to help me get back home faster, so I didn't have a meltdown. But I was feeling it. I was overstimulated, not having the best time. So I walked. That was good for the brain. I made sure to eat. Evan made salads yesterday. I made a burrito. I had an apple. I had other things I don't remember. So it's kind of where I am. On a downward, I hope it's not a spiral. But we are not high. But I have an AmazePuff. That's a pretty color. And it's not black. Yeah, anyways. Oh, I finished an audiobook. I diamond dotted some. Watched some TV. Yeah. It's kind of where I am. I am okay. So anyways. Yappers. That's all I got. This week, I have some cool things happening. What do I do? Oh, I hope I go to a meetup on Wednesday to do bingo. I'm saying it here. I hope I go. Then Friday is my game group. I'm excited for that. So, there's still goodness. Anyways, we're doing our best. Got an AmazePuff. Alright, yappers, that's all I got. I don't got more. And hope you do some things good for you, whether they're comfortable and out of your comfort zone, like I continue to say. Sometimes comfort's nice. See, I got my AmazePuff. I think I'm gonna go park it on the couch. I think Evan's making dinner. And that's all I got. Bye.